Ever wonder why some people seem to find joy in quiet, meaningful activities while others need constant action and noise? Well, if you're an INFJ or know someone who is, you've probably noticed they're drawn to hobbies that feed their soul rather than just pass the time. Today, we're diving deep into the world of INFJ personalities and exploring 8 hobbies that absolutely captivate these rare, introspective individuals. Whether you're an INFJ yourself or you're trying to understand the mysterious INFJ in your life, this video is going to give you some serious insights into what makes these folks tick. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and let's explore the fascinating hobby world of INFJs together. 1. Reading and literature. Let's start with probably the most obvious one, reading. But we're not talking about just any kind of reading here. INFJs are drawn to books that challenge their minds, touch their hearts, or expand their understanding of the human experience. You'll often find INFJs curled up with a classic novel, diving into philosophy books, or getting lost in fantasy worlds that offer deeper meanings and complex characters. They're not just reading for entertainment. They're seeking wisdom, understanding, and emotional connection through literature. What makes reading perfect for INFJs? First, it's a solitary activity that allows them to recharge their introverted batteries. Second, it feeds their intuitive nature by letting them explore different perspectives and possibilities. Third, books often deal with human emotions and moral dilemmas, which speaks directly to their feeling-oriented decision-making process. INFJs particularly love books that deal with personal growth, spirituality, psychology, and social issues. They're drawn to authors who write with depth and authenticity. You might find them rereading their favorite passages, underlining meaningful quotes, or keeping a reading journal to capture their thoughts and insights. The beauty of reading for INFJs is that it combines their love for learning with their need for quiet contemplation. It's not uncommon for an INFJ to spend an entire weekend lost in a good book, emerging with new perspectives and a renewed sense of purpose. 2. Writing and journaling. If reading feeds the INFJ's mind, then writing feeds their soul. Writing gives INFJs a way to process their complex inner world and express thoughts and feelings that might be difficult to share verbally. Many INFJs are natural writers because writing allows them to organize their thoughts, explore abstract concepts, and communicate their ideas in a structured way. They often excel at creative writing, personal essays, poetry, and journaling because these forms allow for emotional expression and deep reflection. Journaling, in particular, is incredibly therapeutic for INFJs. It helps them sort through their feelings, work through problems, and gain clarity on confusing situations. Many INFJs keep multiple journals, one for daily thoughts, another for creative ideas, and maybe even one for spiritual reflections. The writing process itself appeals to the INFJ's judging preference because it provides structure and closure. When they write, they can take all those swirling thoughts and emotions and create something concrete and meaningful from them. What's really interesting is that INFJs often write with a purpose beyond just self-expression. They want their words to help others, inspire change, or shed light on important issues. This aligns perfectly with their desire to make a positive impact on the world. Whether they're working on the next great novel or simply jotting down their thoughts in a personal journal, writing gives INFJs a powerful tool for self-discovery and creative expression. 3. Art and creative expression. INFJs are incredibly creative beings, and they often find themselves drawn to various forms of artistic expression. This might include painting, drawing, photography, sculpture, or any other medium that allows them to translate their inner vision into something tangible. Art appeals to INFJs because it's a way to communicate without words. Their rich inner world is full of images, emotions, and abstract concepts that can be difficult to express verbally. Through art, they can share these internal experiences with others in a way that transcends typical communication barriers. Many INFJs are drawn to art forms that have symbolic meaning or emotional depth. They're not interested in creating superficial or purely decorative pieces. Instead, they want their art to tell a story, convey a message, or evoke deep emotions in the viewer. Photography is particularly popular among INFJs because it combines their love for beauty with their desire to capture meaningful moments. They often focus on subjects that reflect their values, nature, human connection, social issues, or spiritual themes. The creative process itself is deeply satisfying for INFJs. When they're engaged in artistic creation, they enter a flow state where time seems to disappear. This is their way of connecting with something larger than themselves and expressing their authentic selves without the constraints of verbal communication. What's beautiful about INFJs and art is that they're not necessarily trying to become professional artists. The act of creating is reward enough. It's about the process, the self-expression, and the emotional release that comes from bringing something beautiful into the world. For gardening and nature connection, there's something almost magical about watching an INFJ in their garden. Gardening speaks to multiple aspects of the INFJ personality in ways that few other hobbies can match. First, gardening is a deeply nurturing activity, and INFJs are natural nurturers. They find profound satisfaction in caring for plants, watching them grow, and creating environments where life can flourish. This aligns perfectly with their desire to help and support growth in all its forms. Second, gardening requires patience and long-term thinking, qualities that INFJs possess in abundance. They can envision how their garden will look months or even years in the future, and they're willing to put in the consistent work required to make that vision a reality. The connection to nature that gardening provides is incredibly important for INFJs. Spending time outdoors, working with soil, and observing the natural cycles of growth and rest helps them feel grounded and connected to something larger than themselves. Many INFJs are drawn to organic gardening practices because they align with their values about environmental responsibility and natural living. They might grow their own vegetables, herbs, or flowers, finding joy in the entire process from seed to harvest. Gardening also provides INFJs with a healthy outlet for their perfectionist tendencies. While they can't control everything in their garden, they can create beautiful, harmonious spaces that reflect their aesthetic sensibilities and values. The meditative aspect of gardening is another huge draw. The repetitive motions of weeding, watering, and tending plants can be incredibly soothing for the INFJ's busy mind. It's a form of active meditation that helps them process thoughts and emotions while creating something beautiful. 5. Music and musical instruments. Music touches the INFJ soul in ways that few other art forms can. Whether they're listening to music, playing instruments, or composing their own pieces, INFJs often have a deep, emotional relationship with music that goes far beyond casual enjoyment. Many INFJs are drawn to learning musical instruments because music provides another language for emotional expression. Piano, guitar, and violin are particularly popular choices, though INFJs can be found playing everything from traditional instruments to modern electronic music makers. What makes music special for INFJs is its ability to convey complex emotions without words. They can express feelings through melody, harmony, and rhythm that might be impossible to communicate verbally. This is especially valuable for INFJs who sometimes struggle to articulate their rich inner experiences. INFJs often gravitate toward music that has emotional depth and complexity. They're not satisfied with simple, surface-level songs. Instead, they're drawn to pieces that tell stories, explore themes, or create emotional landscapes that mirror their own internal experiences. The practice required to master a musical instrument also appeals to the INFJ's patient, dedicated nature. They're willing to put in hours of practice to improve their skills, finding the process itself rewarding even when progress seems slow. Many INFJs also find that playing music is a form of meditation. When they're focused on their instrument, they enter a flow state where their busy minds can finally rest. The combination of physical coordination, mental focus, and emotional expression creates a perfect balance for the INFJ personality. Composing music is another area where INFJs excel. They can create pieces that reflect their inner world, tell stories that matter to them, or express emotions that others might find difficult to understand. It's a deeply personal form of artistic expression that allows them to share their authentic selves with the world. 6. Yoga and meditation. The combination of physical movement, mental focus, and spiritual connection that yoga provides makes it an ideal hobby for many INFJs. Yoga addresses multiple needs that are important to this personality type: the need for quiet reflection, physical wellness, and spiritual growth. INFJs are naturally introspective, and yoga gives them structured time for self-reflection and inner exploration. The meditative aspects of yoga practice help them process emotions, gain clarity on complex situations, and connect with their intuitive insights. The philosophical aspects of yoga also appeal to INFJs. They're drawn to the ancient wisdom traditions that underlie yoga practice, and they often find meaning in concepts like mindfulness, compassion, and the interconnectedness of all things. Meditation, whether practiced as part of yoga or on its own, is incredibly beneficial for INFJs. Their minds are constantly processing information, emotions, and possibilities, which can sometimes feel overwhelming. Meditation provides a way to quiet the mental chatter and find peace in the present moment. Many INFJs are drawn to specific types of meditation that align with their personality. Loving-kindness meditation appeals to their compassionate nature, while mindfulness meditation helps them stay grounded in the present moment rather than getting lost in future possibilities. The solo nature of yoga and meditation also appeals to INFJs' need for alone time. These practices can be done in the privacy of their own homes, allowing them to recharge their introverted batteries while taking care of their physical and mental health. What's particularly beautiful about INFJs and yoga is that they often approach it as a holistic practice rather than just a form of exercise. They're interested in the complete philosophy and lifestyle that yoga represents, not just the physical postures. 7. Cooking and baking. Cooking and baking might not seem like obvious hobbies for INFJs, but there's something about the process of creating nourishing food that deeply appeals to their nurturing nature and desire for meaningful activities. For INFJs, cooking isn't just about preparing meals, it's about creating experiences, showing love, and bringing people together. They often see food as a way to care for others and express their creativity at the same time. Many INFJs are drawn to cooking from scratch, using fresh, high-quality ingredients. They enjoy the process of transforming raw materials into something delicious and nourishing. This aligns with their preference for authenticity and their desire to create something meaningful with their hands. Baking, in particular, appeals to the INFJ's appreciation for precision and process. The careful measurement of ingredients, the timing of different steps, and the transformation that occurs in the oven satisfy their need for structure and their love of watching things develop over time. INFJs often become passionate about specific aspects of cooking or baking. They might develop expertise in bread making, explore international cuisines, or focus on healthy, organic cooking. Whatever their focus, they approach it with the same depth and dedication they bring to other aspects of their lives. The meditative aspects of cooking also appeal to INFJs. The repetitive motions of chopping, stirring, and kneading can be deeply soothing. Many INFJs find that they do their best thinking while they're cooking, using the time to process their day or work through problems. Sharing food with others is another important aspect of this hobby for INFJs. They love hosting dinner parties, bringing homemade treats to gatherings, or simply cooking special meals for their loved ones. Food becomes a way to express care and create meaningful connections with others. 8. Learning languages and cultures. INFJs are naturally curious about people and the world around them, which makes language learning an incredibly appealing hobby. Learning new languages allows them to connect with different cultures, expand their understanding of human experience, and challenge their minds in meaningful ways. What makes language learning perfect for INFJs is that it combines intellectual challenge with cultural exploration. They're not just memorizing vocabulary and grammar rules. They're gaining insight into different ways of thinking and living. Many INFJs are drawn to languages that connect them to cultures they find fascinating or meaningful. They might learn Italian to better appreciate Renaissance art, study Japanese to understand Eastern philosophy, or learn Spanish to connect with their community's Hispanic population. The process of language learning itself appeals to the INFJ's patient, dedicated nature. They understand that becoming fluent in a language takes time and consistent effort, and they're willing to put in the work because they see the deeper value. INFJs often use language learning as a gateway to cultural exploration. They might read literature in the original language, watch foreign films without subtitles, or connect with native speakers to practice conversation. This cultural immersion feeds their desire to understand different perspectives and ways of life. Online language learning communities also provide INFJs with opportunities to connect with like-minded people from around the world. They can practice their language skills while building meaningful relationships with people who share their interests and values. The empathy that INFJs naturally possess makes them excellent language learners. They're skilled at picking up on nuances in communication, understanding cultural context, and adapting their communication style to different situations. The common thread, meaningful engagement. Looking at all these hobbies, you might notice a common thread. They all involve meaningful engagement rather than passive entertainment. INFJs aren't interested in hobbies that are purely about killing time or seeking thrills. Instead, they're drawn to activities that feed their souls, challenge their minds, or help them grow as individuals. Each of these hobbies also provides INFJs with opportunities for both solitary reflection and meaningful connection. Whether they're reading alone or sharing their latest cooking creation with friends, these activities allow INFJs to honor both their introverted nature and their desire to impact others positively. Another common element is the opportunity for creative expression and personal growth. INFJs see hobbies as extensions of their personal development journey. They're not just looking for fun, they want activities that help them become better versions of themselves. Tips for INFJs choosing new hobbies. If you're an INFJ looking to explore new hobbies, here are some things to consider. First, think about what you hope to gain from the hobby. Are you looking for creative expression, physical wellness, intellectual challenge, or spiritual growth? Understanding your motivation will help you choose activities that truly satisfy you. Second, don't be afraid to start small. INFJs can sometimes feel overwhelmed by the idea of committing to something new. Remember that hobbies should be enjoyable, not stressful. You can always deepen your involvement as you discover what aspects of the hobby appeal to you most. Third, consider the social aspects carefully. Some INFJs enjoy hobbies that can be done alone or with others, while others prefer strictly solitary activities. Think about your current social needs and energy levels when choosing new hobbies. Finally, trust your intuition. As an INFJ, you have strong instincts about what will and won't work for you. If something feels right when you read about it or try it for the first time, it's probably worth exploring further. How these hobbies support INFJ well-being. These hobbies aren't just fun diversions for INFJs, they're essential tools for maintaining emotional and mental well-being. Each hobby provides different benefits that support the unique needs of the INFJ personality. Creative hobbies like writing, art, and music provide outlets for emotional expression and help INFJs process their complex inner experiences. Physical hobbies like gardening and yoga help them stay grounded and connected to their bodies. Intellectual hobbies like reading and language learning feed their curious minds and desire for growth. All of these hobbies also provide INFJs with opportunities to enter flow states, those moments when time seems to disappear and they're completely absorbed in what they're doing. These flow experiences are crucial for INFJ well-being because they provide relief from the constant mental activity that can sometimes feel overwhelming. Conclusion. So there you have it, 8 hobbies that INFJs absolutely love, and for good reason. Whether it's getting lost in a good book, expressing themselves through art, nurturing a garden, or learning a new language, these activities speak to the core of what makes INFJs tick. The beautiful thing about understanding these hobby preferences is that it gives us insight into the INFJ personality as a whole. These aren't random choices, they're reflections of deeper values, needs, and desires that drive this unique personality type. If you're an INFJ, I hope this video has given you some ideas for new hobbies to explore or helped you understand why you're so drawn to the ones you already enjoy. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to pursue a hobby. The most important thing is that it brings you joy and serves your personal growth journey. And if you're not an INFJ but you know someone who is, understanding their hobby preferences can help you support and connect with them in meaningful ways. Maybe you could join them in one of their favorite activities or give them the gift of supplies for a hobby they love. Thanks for watching, and remember, The best hobbies are the ones that help you grow into the person you're meant to be. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep being your authentic self.